what everybody's hoping for is clarity. That's the word I keep on seeing in all this commentary. But the one thing we tend not to get, it seems recently, is clarity, because we'll have some members want this, more members want that, a few members want this. So I don't think we're going to get that kind of clear signal as to whether September is when they pull the trigger on tapering or by how much. But that's what the markets will be hoping for.
And how does the market react when we get that lack of clarity?
Lack of clarity, I think you get a continuation, don't you? Which means kind of an ebbing of the dollar weaker against the euro, against sterling, and but continued concerns about tapering for emerging market economies. And so I think that extends because we don't get any kind of seismic change from the Fed.
Dollar yen's remained reasonably resilient.
Yeah.
Euro dollar seems to be picking up. Why the dollar weakness against the euro right now?
We've had a reasonably good run of better than expected numbers out of the Eurozone. So you get the sense that the economy has turned the corner. We had that reasonable Q2 GDP number. So that has helped Euro sentiment. In other words, we're not slipping so far behind the US economy as we feared. And at the same time, I guess maybe the positioning was the other way. The market was kind of very keen on being long dollars against the euro, and so kind of caught the wrong way, and that's why we've had this grind higher.
Swissy and the yen still the safe havens?
Still the safe havens, and getting a bid again overnight with the Fukushima story out of Japan. That's obviously distressing, but helping the yen at the same time because it's undermining the equity markets. And in general, yes, the whole equity market wobble because of the tapering story, that's helped the Swiss franc to a degree, and that's continuing to stop dollar yen from pushing higher.
But is going long dollar the trade right now?
I think so. I mean, I still think
everyone, right?
I still think that's the story, and I think particularly I would say against sterling at the moment, I'm slightly baffled by why cable is where it's at. We've had slightly better numbers, but I think that would be one to play to the downside. Look to sell sterling against the dollar. I think would be a good trade.
Maybe it's just because things are quiet in the markets right now, or at least in the news right now. Everyone seems to be making a lot of fuss about the Schäuble comments on Greece and the third bailout. Are they overdoing that?
No, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised that these comments have come out ahead of the election. There was a sense that let's just kind of brush Greece underneath the carpet, and then we'll address it once we've got re-elected. Whereas I guess what we're seeing is there is kind of a plan, an idea that look, we may need a third bailout package. We'll keep the IMF on board. So that's.
But the timing of the communication aside, I mean, you talk about brushing under the carpet. That means the problem is there, right? When do the markets start sitting up and thinking, we've got this problem still, we need to factor that in?
I honestly don't think they will. I mean, I think what we have in the background is still Draghi's OMT program. And so long as that's there, this idea that the ECB could and would come in and buy bonds if we had a stressful period again, I think that in a way prevents the market from getting too panicked about Greece and other stories of that ilk.
So to finish up with, Fed minutes today, tomorrow morning, we'll be talking more of the same.
I think we'll be doing exactly the